So a few words of conclusion, if we can do it after these two intense days. I'm speaking about the third, on which the program Future of Work after Laudato Si will work tomorrow. I will just make three very brief points. First is that we have seen this title, Invisible Work, Travail Invisible, was with us in each and a single of presentations and conversation. So of course it has catch a kind of polysemic character. And we have seen it both because many of, yesterday especially, we were visiting different fields or aspects of this invisible work, more from the sociological perspective. Today we have been visiting this terminology through inner dimension of work, the invisible aspects of work. Of course, it was not a clear-cut distinction, but nevertheless. So when we speak about invisible work, we have to keep in mind, I think, these two. First point, that was the first point. The second point, you remember maybe one of the slides of Mrs. Chen from Harvard. She had a series of questions. Invisible for whom? Invisible by whom? Invisible why? In which conditions? And I think in looking at the different aspects of invisible work, both inner dimension and the social dimension, it would be very interesting to take these questions, maybe add one or two, and try to answer in order to have a kind of typology, of course, a work that I have not done, but maybe in the future. There was a very important debate in this line of questions. Should the invisible work be made visible? Visible through what? Through recognition, through statistics, through wages, through gifts, etc., etc. The debate is open. The debate is open. But I think the emerging answer, we have to be conscious that invisible work exists, and this invisible work in different dimensions, social and personal, probably has more meaning than what is visible. It brings us to different conversation about human being, the capacity to understanding, theology, and so on. So this is the second point, work. There is a lot of work to be done about invisible work in order to put in order different observations that have been exchanged, presented, and discussed during these 2 days. The third and before last point of conclusion is about on social level, sociology, let's say social sciences level. We have seen that none of the sciences that have been present here is complete, because what is missing, there are many things that are missing in each of them, but the anthropological foundation, which is fundamental for social sciences too, not only for philosophers and theologians. So that's one observation within the third point. And there is another observation, that we have been traveling through more and more specialized social systems. Patrick Delaubier would, and somebody uses this term, would speak about désenveloppement. And I think it's important, new spheres being added to existing ones or new realms within the social system. So the question that we are faced with here is to use and to find a way to use transdisciplinarity approach, I would say systemic approach, in order to understand this journey toward more and more specialization, the more and more complex social systems, but also with not only the understanding the journey, but what are the elements, what are the instruments, what are the tools, what are the needs that we can use or put in place in order to develop a harmony. It does not mean necessarily square equilibria, it does not, but a harmony between them in order to allow the flourishing of human dignity and human beings. The fourth and last point of conclusion is that what we have said about specialization has also a personal dimension, because for us, it means fragmentation. More spheres we belong to, more fragments of our being we develop, and we develop them time to time as being autonomous or independent, or as if there could be independent or autonomous from another. So this, again, here we have received a lot of insights from philosophy, from theology, how not to lose integrity or integrality confronted with growing complexity and integrality of human being, human society. Somebody, I think this afternoon, many things have been said about the communio, and I think it's very important. So, these 4 points which are not fully elaborated takeaways, at least for me. So, now comes the moment of thanks, and I will start with the most abstract ones, which are to our partners, because we started with the 2 faculties here of theology and social and economic sciences, but we also have been working with 6 partners. So the very present but very absent on the same time was the ILO, absent because the speakers that should have been here could not make it, but present because we referred permanently to the work that has been done about work, not only in statistics, but also in many conventions, definitions, policy moves, etc. So thank you for ILO, also for giving inspiration to the Future of Work Labor After Laudato Si program, but indirectly for this conference. Thanks to the University of Geneva, once again, Jean-Michel Bonvin would have developed the capability approach to work. Unfortunately, it will it will wait for the publication. And the 2 organizations that were organizing here, which is AIESC, you know it, and Plateforme, Dignité, Développement, one which is very local. You have seen what we try to do within Plateforme, Dignité, Développement, AIESC, a broader perspective, and both the bureaus of the 2 organizations have been very much involved in the preparation. So thank you very much also to Renovabis, who provides some financing for travels from friends from Eastern Europe. But the most important thanks go to Pascal and Michel. Where are you? Where are you? Michel? Ah, il est là, il est là. So, thank you. You are working. So, thank you very much for this. At least a picture. At least a picture. Okay. So, they did a wonderful work, Pascal, on the long term, Michel on the shorter one, but without your contribution, without your flexibility, adaptability, and so on, without your love, because it's you showed how does it mean, what does it mean service, and taking care of something that you have responsibility for. So thank you very much to Volker for his audio support, and thank you for all of us. And once again, I think we can conclude saying that we are all richer because all of us gave something. We are all richer because friendship has grown, mutual understanding has grown, we do not agree on everything, we learn how to disagree and to better understand where we disagree, and maybe find a solution to better agree next time. But friendship is fundamental to AIESC because it means, and I think Raphael, you were very clear about it, I speak because I love. And I think this is fundamental. I work because I love, but exchange only because there is a trust relationship, and we know that we are not going to be caught in misunderstandings only because of possible formal errors.